is sitting in a sukkah and a man is sitting in a sukkah, same situation, she's allowed to make a leishev and he's not.
So why doesn't that work?
Because it's not the same situation. She was makabel sukkahs early, he was not.
It's the exact same. If he was makabel, she's makabel.
I understand. My teretz I thought was good that the son-in-law hates the father-in-law, so that he's mitzvah, so he's potter from sukkah, so the daughter can make a bracha, and the son-in-law and the husband can't. I don't understand that one.
Wait, what was the story you said? What was the Shmini Atzeret story? I missed.
Oh, that's too long. It's amazing. That's too long. Maybe Shabbos or something. We'll discuss it by shir. It's amazing. Well, we gotta get him to stop by the shir on Shabbos afternoon and sit. Yeah.
Which story?
I say we chill out.
I'll tell you.
I say we chill out.
It can't be. It can't be that it's raining and they each paskin differently.
No. Same rabbis. Same rabbis. I will tell you one thing he told us. He said when he came from the DP camps, 9 years old, in the DP camps, you were expected by the age of 9 to know Baal Peh 40 blot Gemara. Yeah. Age 9 in the DP camp. That he did say.
Wow.
That's pretty good, right? I told him
I'm expected to know that.
That was what's expected to know in the schools and the DP camps in Europe.
And now kids can't even turn on Zoom.
Hello, I said I'm working on my 40 blot still. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, so let's get rolling here.
I don't know. He's unbelievable.
So just the chazer from yesterday. Answering shilas in front of a rebbe. Right, first of all, we pass on like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. We pass on like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov that if there's only one yid there, then you don't have to rent the rishus from the guy. And then we said a whole sugi about answering shilas in front of a rebbe, which I forgot to say something that's important, right? Yeah. And then what's the punishment for answering in front of rebbe, which we said that what do we say? It's death. The most partial thing is that a person dies, and then why Yeshua ben Nun was punished, and then he said you're not allowed to put anybody in this. Nobody's allowed to sleep in the same room as a couple because they can't be together, and that's painful for her. Fine, that's where we left off. So Agav, since we said yesterday that paskening in front of a rebbe, so nowadays that there's svarim, so it's not really psak. So what comes out, a lot of poskim say, is that you're not allowed to paskin before looking it up in a sefer. Meaning a guy comes to a rav and asks him a shaila, right? Now if you're saying the svarim are the rebbe, so how do you go paskin a shaila without first looking in the svarim, without checking with the rebbe? The rebbe's sitting right there on your shelf. That's a pretty scary proposition. It means every time, according to these things, every time you get asked a shaila, you have to go ask the rebbe. How do you ask the rebbe? By looking it up in a sefer.
The sefer is not the rebbe.
What do you mean? The reason why not to paskin in front of a rebbe is you don't know if the rebbe is going to. One of the reasons is that the rebbe is not going to agree with your summation of the situation, right? So good. So you may think that this is the situation. Now you go look it up in the sefer and say, "Hey, 1 second, it's not like I thought." Right? Which some poskim say that has to be. The Aruch HaShulchan seems to say not like that. And you don't have to. It's not so, but it's not like that. But yeah,
the Baba from Muncie, her father was a Paisik in the town of Zlobberich. I'm not going to tell you stories about him, but anyway, he never told the lady a teretz without taking a sefer down from the shelf.
I think you told me that once, Taka.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. She should feel important. She should always come to him.
Right.
That.
It's interesting because so then the person can say, well, that's a shaila that's constantly asked. You don't have to go look it up. But really, when it's a shaila that you have to think about, you really should look it up. My experience with Reb Feivel Cohen, he should live and be well, is that when I ask him any sort of shaila he never answered me. He thought I'm a Drake up. You know those guys are Drake ups. He's draining me a cup. He never. Quite a few times he told me, I'm not holding in the sugi now. I can't answer you. He really, and I know a lot of people I don't know if they have tainas on him, but some people have said, like, you can't talk to Reb Feivel because if he's not if he's not holding in the sugya, or if he doesn't have the sefer open in front of him, he's not going to answer you. So what use is he as a rabbi? I'm saying that people had that title, but you know what? It's legit. And if he needed to look it up in the sefer, so how about the rest of us? I mean, so I don't know. I want to ask him one shaila. He says, I don't know. He called me back the next day, and it's a beferish, a kitzur shulchan aruch. Okay, a kitzur shulchan aruch. That's okay. So you know what I mean. Whatever. It's yeah. So anyway, so that's what we said. Okay, so let's see. So now we go weiter tonight. Tonight we have a little bit of vacation from Eruvin again. So what did we get up to? We have a little bit of Eruvin and then we have vacation, which is very negate to Simchas Torah. So it's the day after the Simchas Torah, but you know, one day off, nish gefährlich. Yeah. So. We're on Samach Gimel Amud Beis. Hahu Mavua. Yeah, it's around, I would say, 10 lines up from the bottom. Hahu Mavua. Right, there was a mavui, right? So a mavui is, again, what is a mavui? A mavui is a bunch of yards that open up into one area, right? So there was a mavui, to have a dyer Lachman bar Rista. A guy named Lachman bar Rista. I have no idea why. Rashi says, Kach Shemoy. Why the Gemara has to say the guy's name? What does this guy have some schus that he's mentioned in Shas? I have no idea. Right? But it's going to come up again tonight, again, in a blot from now, of another guy that the Gemara mentions its name. So I don't know what the pshat is. But anyways, so Lachman bar Ristuk lived there. Amrulei Eiger Lach Rishus. So the problem was that he lived amongst the Yidden. So we know the halacha is that you got to rent the Rishus from the guy. Right? That was the Gezerah. So he didn't rent it to them, which the Gemara said a two blot ago that a guy doesn't want to rent it to them, which was the whole point of the Gezerah, so that we don't end up living with Goyim. Amrulei Labaya, so they went and told to Abaya, Amr Lahu. So now Abaya told him a givaldig way to get out of this. Why doesn't everybody just be mevatel their property to one guy? And have a yachid b'makam nachrin. Then it's like one guy living with Goyim. And we said already, we paskin like, who was it? Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. Was it Reb Shimon? Who was it? We just said it before. Hold on, let me look back. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, I'm sorry. We paskin like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, who says that if there's only one yid living with the guy, then you don't need an eruv. Again, you see what Rabbi's eitz is? Let's say you have 10 yidden living with one guy, and the guy's not willing to rent his rishus, so now you can't make the eruv, right? So Abaya said, okay, all 9 of you give your rishus over to this one guy. They better trust this guy because you hope this guy gives it back after Shabbos, right? But he told them, hey, take all your 9 guys, be mavatal your rishus to the one guy, and then you're just guests. And it's as if one guy is living with the yid, and we know that that the halacha is that if there's only one yid living with a guy, it's no problem. The only reason why they said this heter is it's not common for one yid to live amongst goyim. But here, but here we all are living with the guy, so it is a common situation, right? So how can this eitzah work according to Abaya? So Amr Lahu, he said, "Kol b'tuli rishasaychu gabi chad." This whole concept of everybody being mevatel their rishus to one guy is in itself something that's not common. And it's something that's not common. The Rabbanon didn't make a gezerah. Yeah, that was a bias.
Can I stop you for a second? I've been looking for the last 5 minutes where you are.
Bottom. Now we're on the bottom line of Mem Gimel of Mem Gimel Samach Gimel on the base.
Thank you.
I thought, Simon, you were going to ask about this shtick that Abaya said to pull, because this is not your style thing to do. You don't like
I probably would have if I could read along with it.
I'm sorry. The last few lines, basically, so Abaya told him to pull this, to pull a shtick, and everybody should be mevatel the rishus to one guy. Yeah, so anyways, so Ozol Rav Huna, so that was the story. So Ozol Rav Huna, Breder Rav Yeshua, Amr L'Shmaitza Kamei de Rava. He went and he told this eitzah to Rava. Now, this is, whose eitzah was it? It was Abaya's eitzah. And he went and he told the eitzah to Rava. So a fashtetza, Rava is not going to have a problem with Abaya's eitzah. Right? So Amr
They always have to argue?
Seems like it. They must have had two different views of things, right? So Amalei, Im Kain, if you're going to do this again, just to rehash it, Abaya said, let 9 guys, using an example, let 9 guys give their rishus over to one guy, right? Let 9 guys give their rishus over to one guy. Then it's only one yid living with the guy, and you don't need schiras rishus because there's only one yid living there, right? What do you want to say? Someone want to say something?
No, I wanted to make fun, but I've told you, see, there's a makar in Shas for not agreeing with anything that the other person says. Nothing. For the whole Shas. For 2,800 block, Ravin and Abaye did not agree on anything.
Is it? Well, we don't know. I mean, we got to keep it in mind. Maybe we'll find something that they agreed on. We found one thing Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel did agree on. Remember, one thing that they did agree on that we shouldn't be going. What?
Aaron, this is what keeps you going.
Right? We saw that Shammai and Hillel all agree that it's better that we shouldn't be born. That we saw. Which is we're all born. So how does that? Okay, but we're all born, right? So we already discussed that. Okay, Shine.
But wasn't it Shammai and Hillel might have agreed? It was Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel that it was the Hasidim that maybe didn't have it so clear. Is that possible?
That's what they want to tell people. That's Bubba Mises.
Just asking.
It could be. Anyways, right? That's what they say about every machlokes. It's not the gedolim that are arguing; it's the Hasidim, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So, Im Kain. So then Rava said back, if you're going to do this, Im Kain, batal the Torah's eruv ma'osa mavui. You're going to be mavatal the whole din of eruv from that mavui. Meaning, if everybody's going to give over. Right, we said already before that we're trying to make sure that the concept of Eruvin doesn't get lost from Yidden. Right? So what you're going to do is if everybody gives over their property to one guy, then you're being mavatal the whole Torah's Eruv from that Mavui.
Why?
Because they all give it over to one guy. You don't even need an Eruv Chatzeres now, right? If everybody gives over their property to one Yid, what do you need an Eruv Chatzeres for? It all belongs to one guy.
But that's only in a situation when there's a guy.
No, but that's what Abaye said to do in this situation. Right. So he said, so then everybody that lives in that Chatzer, until that guy moves.
But not everybody's in that situation.
You're not being
Only this happens to be in this situation.
Right. So
not everybody is in that situation.
That's true, but in this particular Eruv, the whole concept of Eruv is going to be lost. That's right. So he says the Ma'arvi. He answered, no, we make them do Eruv Chatzeres.
So saying the same thing like that is like saying that if you mechuras chametz, you're not going to do service chametz anymore. In one situation,
no, that's part of the issue. You're not really selling the chametz that you're burning. That's part. The Poskim discussed that.
Yeah, I'm saying
the Poskim discussed that. Yeah. Anyway, so then he answered back, Yomru Eruv Mayil b'makam nachi. But then they're going to say that you can make an Eruv Chatzeres where there's a guy there, right? Now
why is it that they don't have Eruv?
Huh?
If they don't need Eruv because of the setup that Abaye caused, why is it a gnai? So they don't have Eruv. Who cares?
No, because it's going to be nishtakach from them that there's such a thing.
I think it's going to be learned.
You're being mavatal the whole Torahs of Eruvin from this. You're just like taking a takonas chachamim and just doing away with it.
I mean, is that like nowadays when most people don't know what the Eruv is because you take care of it?
You know, you're saying a good thing. You're saying a good thing. We're going to get to that when we discuss the maskonas hasugi with everything. We're going to get to it. And if we don't get to it, please remind me because before we get to the next Mishnah, that's mamish. Yes, it's a major thing that you're saying. The poskim actually discuss that. Anyways.
To Naftali's question though, does that work? If let's say I don't want to sell my chametz, so I give Naftali all my chametz. Basically it's his problem. Whatever he sells, so he sold the stuff in my house.
A lot of people do that. A lot of people that don't want to sell chametz gomer give it to somebody else who does sell chametz gomer. They do that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I do that.
You could do that. Yeah. Anyways, so then the Gemara says, Yomiru Eruv Moel b'makam nachi. Well, now if you're going to make an Eruv, so now everybody's going to think, hey, you're allowed to make an Eruv with the guy in there. Well, we just know that that's also also. You can't make an Eruv with the guy in it.
But how can they make an Eruv?
So the answer is the machrizin. Right? They announce it. Right?
Announce what?
They make an announcement and they explain to everybody exactly what's going on here.
So what? You're making an Eruv and it doesn't work? What's the point? Don't make the Eruv.
No, you're making an Eruv. And they made a shtick in order to make this Eruv work. Really, that's what it said. The machrizin. So the Gemara says
you bypassed the Eruv and you made an Eruv anyways.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I'm having a hard time.
So Gemara says, what about the kids? Right? Well, right, it's interesting because the taich of dardaki is kids. Rashi seems to say that announcement will help for the first generation. Right? But what about the next generation who wasn't there by the hachraza? How's it going to help them? Right? Elom Rava. So Rava says it has a different way of doing it. Rava has also an interesting way of getting around this, beside different than Abaya. Lezel Chad Minayu, Lekarav Le, get one guy go and be Makarav to the guy, which is interesting because we don't want you to learn from the guy. And now here Rava is telling you to go get close to the guy. Velishol Minei Duchta, and then he should borrow a place in the guy's house. And then he should put something there. Therefore, he's going to be like a worker. Different types of workers. And therefore, the Yid is going to be like a worker. And since he's going to be a worker, he's going to have a portion of the guy's property. And therefore, it's no longer looked at like a guy's property, and it's like a Yid's. And therefore, you are now allowed to make an Eruv there.
What's the issue with Rashi?
What are you saying?
What's the issue with Rashi?
Which Rashi?
The one that you just said. Rashi said the other generation.
No, it's originally just Ladardaki means just for kids. So you think, originally when I learned it, I would have thought that Dardaki means the kids are going to grow up without an Eruv. They weren't there by the announcement. They don't listen to the announcements. I don't know if the adults listen to the announcements either, but the kids certainly don't listen to the announcements. But that's not what Rashi says. Rashi's worried about the Dardakim when they grow up, and the next generations are not going to hear. No problem with it. It's just interesting. Rashi's pshat. I thought it was interesting. Okay, but anyways, so Rav is saying befriend him and then rent part of his property, and then it's good. Even if it's just a worker, you can just put the Eruv there, and then that's enough. You don't even have to rent the Rishus from the guy. So now he had different shayla. If you had 5 workers, do you have to rent the property from all 5 workers? Let's say the guy had 5 Yiddish workers. So you have to rent the property from all 5 workers, or you only rent from one? So we just said that a worker working in a guy's house is a kula. Are we going to say that a schira lekita is to be machmer? So obviously not. So all you need to do is rent from one. Not even rent from one. You just need to have one guy there, and then you're fine. Okay, so Gufa. Now we're done with Eruvin for the night. Now we have a gada to some very interesting Gemaras. So Gufa, he just has to give his Eruv, and that's enough. So how great is this Shmaitza that we just learned? Yeah? He was very happy with this Shmaitza. He liked it. Here's where we start getting into the Simchas Torah. Right? If you drink a Revius of Yayin, Al Yoira, you're not allowed to paskin. Right? Somebody who drinks the Revius Yayin is not allowed to paskin. Yeah? So, and it's Labdafka Yayin, it's anything that, or I imagine marijuana too. Yeah? Or anything that intoxicates or messes with your brain. So Rav Nachman, Loima Al Yahashmaitz. Rav Nachman said this Shmaitz is no good. Again, so Rav Nachman said the first Shmaitz is good. This second Shmaitz he didn't like. I imagine there's many on this stuff that would agree with Rav Nachman on this one. He didn't like that one. I imagine the Olam would want to daven in his shul. He says, as long as I don't drink, my das is not clear. Rav Nachman said, I can't think straight unless I had a l'chaim. Right? So therefore, he didn't like that memra.
Just to drink it.
That's what Naftali says about driving after drinking. Because you're always more focused on the double yellow line.
Very good. The shame I'm right too. There you go.
I don't just say it. I live by my words.
I was going to say, you know it's true because he's not disputing it.
There you go.
Yeah. So, anyways,
wait.
So
there's an interesting concept with some research they're doing now with different drugs called microdosing, where they do small doses of marijuana and psilocybin mushrooms and things like that, where it helps with PTSD and other things like that, and it helps bring the mind of someone back. Would that still be would that still fall in space?
I don't know. You'd have to I imagine it's probably a very, very
Well,
specific.
the guy would have to know psak first. You can't just because he's smoking up doesn't mean he could paskin.
Or ADD.
That's true.
Or ADD medicine. ADD, ADHD medicine. Wouldn't that be the same thing? Because
that's true. I don't know. Yeah, if it messes with your brain, it's a good point. If that messes with your brain, then you wouldn't be able to. Yeah. How about stama? Let's say stama, a Rav is on medication that causes him. What do you call it? Causes him to be to his head not to be into it or something. Right. So Mamela. I know Rav Nosson Tzvi didn't take medication, even though it messed with his head, and a lot of times he didn't take the medication because he wasn't able to think straight. Right? So I'm saying, yeah. And
it's interesting how things change over the years, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Now the question again, like we discussed yesterday, is it really a psak? Right? Meaning we said something posher, like is an egg parif. A guy comes and asks a Rav, he takes a l'chaim in the morning by a yard side thing, and he takes a drink, and then the guy comes to him and says, "Is an egg of a chicken parv? So could you answer that? Yeah, that's not a psak. That's not a psak. It would have to be something that requires shikul hadas or something like that, right?" So I have this problem. Yeah, I'm Purim. I know. Everybody make fun of me that I don't drink on Purim, but I do drink. It does. I do drink, and then somebody inevitably comes in with a shot. I'm like, okay, am I? Can I not? If I ask all you guys, you say, sure you can. You didn't drink anything.
Yago, Puckas make a shear doesn't count. You got to drink more than,
exactly.
You have to be over like it would be Yom Kippur. Then maybe you could say.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. So but in that case, I ask you guys the shaila. You guys paskin that I'm not drunk, and Mamela, I'm good to go. There you go.
Parrots, Yom Kippur dummy. He drinks Puckas Mishi on Purim also.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so
should go by the daily shear. The regular day's shear is a revius. Purim shear is not a revius.
Oh, so we're going to discuss that. Actually, that Gershon, that's true. We're going to discuss that soon. We'll discuss that in a minute. So, Omar Le Rava, my time Omar Mar Hachi. First, we have a different very interesting Gemara that comes out from here. Omar Le Rava, my time Omar Mar Hachi. Why'd you say this? Omar of Acha Bar Chanina. My dechsiv ve'roya zaynis yavid hain. If somebody who hangs out with zaynis is going to lose everything, which we see that all the time. So, Kol Aimer Shmu Zu Noah. Right, so we're touching we're breaking up the word zayna into zu noah. Anybody who says this shmaitza, meaning this whatever you heard is beautiful, he's making the beauty of Torah be lost. Meaning, right? And Rashi says it's a pagam in the cover of Torah to say this Torah is nice and this Torah is not nice. And Rashi says in the end he's going to forget his Torah. Comes out from this Gemara, l'chayra, that you can't say, hey, you want to hear a beautiful vart? Right? Because that means it's mashra that this is beautiful and other Torah is not beautiful.
Or is it that,
so
that you want to hear this not so good vart?
Well, listen, here he said one member yes and one member he didn't like. So then the question is it dafka if you say you like this and don't like this, or can you even not say I like this and I don't like this? So there's a rashash, there's a marsha about it. I don't remember what the rashash says. Taka, yeah, no, the marsha says taka you wouldn't be able to, and then the rashash says yes, that you can say something's beautiful, right? Oh, tonight's a yard side. Okay, Neshama Zamaliyah, wasn't that? Was it Moshe? What do you say, Moshe?
Moshe ben Rabbi Yitzchak.
Moshe Chaim ben Rabbi Yitzchak. Yeah, Dovi Langer's father's. I can't say I'm going to make it to that. I'm going to have a virtual L'chaim over here now. I don't think I'm making it to 6:45 or at the cats, whatever. Okay, Shabbos Aliyah, the learning should be in the Neshama. Yeah. So anyway, so that's what comes out, that you really shouldn't say you want to hear a nice vart, but at the Welt obviously does say you want to hear an unbelievable vart or a nice vart or this or that. Okay.
If someone says it's a balbatish teretz, it's like a pagam to the teretz.
If you hold balabatim as a pagam, I'm pro.
No, I'm saying if someone says it, most people say, it's balbatish. It's a pagam. I'm saying on the flip side.
You're right, and you're 100% right. You're right. Well, unless you disagree with the Torah, you're allowed to disagree.
No, it's just belittling it, not disagree. Oh,
Right.
it's good, but it's balbatish. Let me tell you, lamdisha. That's a
Right.
no. It's
No,
not.
Chanami, that you're right. That would taka be something that would be. I would imagine that's incorrect. That's an incorrect thing to do. So Amrlei Hadribi. So he answers in the back. He says, "I'm stopping." Right, which is interesting because what does Hadr mean? Hadribi means I changed my mind. Right. So Rashi says here, Hadribi means loy oisified. I'm not going to say it anymore. He didn't say he's being chayz. He's saying, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to say this anymore. This I like, this I don't like. Okay, now we get into the drinking. Amar Rabba bar Rav Huna shasui al yispalel. Somebody who drinks is not allowed to daven. V'mispalel tefillah say tefillah. But if he did daven, his tefillah is a tefillah. Shikr, but if you're shikr, al yispalel. V'mispalel tefillah say teva. If you're shikr, then don't daven, and if you did daven tefillah say teva, and Rash and Tosfos says tefillah say teva, and you have to daven again. Okay, so kihad Rav Ava bar Shumni v'Rav Menashe bar Yirmiyah migifti have a komiftri me'adadi amavro denahar yufti. They were leaving. We're going to get to it. They were leaving each other when they by the river of Nahar Yofti. Omer like kolechad minan leima milsa delay shmiya lechavre. Let each one of us say something that Mar Rav Huna said. I'm sorry. When any time two people leave each other, they should tell each other a dvar halacha like this. They'll remember each other. Meaning, when that dvar halacha comes up again, so then they'll be able to say, "Oh, I remember my friend, but when I left, he told me this halacha." Right? We had this in brachas. We had a similar thing in brachas. Right? So Pasach Chad, so one of them opened up and said, "V'amar hechi dami shasi v'hechi dami shikr." Right? What do you call one who drank, and what do you call somebody who's shikr? Shasoi kol sheyachol davar lefnei hamelech. When you drink, it's anybody that's able to speak in front of a king. Meaning, if you would be able to go in front of a king or a president or whatever and have a normal conversation, then that's shasui, and you're allowed to daven. Shikr is kol she'eino yachol davar lefnei hamelech. Somebody who's shikr means if you wouldn't be able to say a straight sentence in front of a melech, then your tefillah is no good, and you have to daven again.
I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Because some of my best conversations, I think I could be with the Rabbanu Shalom when I was shikr.
Okay,
yeah,
but the
you have to be
not
able to recall what you said and asked, and most of the time you can't.
But
people will remind you what you said.
But the Rabbanu Shalom knows.
The Rabbanu Shalom will remember. Yeah.
Does
so
it
that's a
depend
question.
Who's president?
What?
Does it depend on who's president?
That's probably no. It means a legit one. But anyway, you're right. So, but the question is, you probably could have had I think you have to be pretty drunk not to be able to have a straight conversation. No, I mean you.
Yeah.
So you got to be pretty.
Landau, what do you think on that?
Let me just think it into Sviakov's terms. It takes a lot of champagne, okay, to get drunk.
Yeah. Anyway, no, but really you have to be pretty drunk not to be able to.
The question is, who's handicapped with having a normal conversation before they even have a drink? And does
that's also an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing. But I'm gonna post I'll post right after on the chat my halachos of Purim on Purim, and part of my Purim halachos I have a little shortcuts of what the different levels of drinking. Because then there's a third level of drinking which is shikr v'light. That's not by the way, that's not a phrase. That is halacha in Shulchan Aruch. If you shikr like light, which we're going to get to, the Gemara is that means everything. There's nothing to talk about. That's not what we're talking about here. L'chayra. Light means he was totally passed out. That's not no, because what comes out is with this again, another one of I probably should add this into my confusions, right? This is all for tefillah. Birchas HaMazon, you can be shikr and still bench and say brachas. Because in those, there you're not talking to Hashem. It's very interesting. It comes out that Birchas HaMazon is a deraisa. Tefillah is a derabbanan. Tefillah you're not allowed to daven. Birchas HaMazon you are allowed to when you're shikr.
Who are you talking to when you bench?
You're thanking Hashem. You're not, when you daven to Hashem, you're requesting things from Hashem. You're supposed to be like as if you're talking to him. When you say a bracha, you're benching Hashem. Well, it's not really benching Hashem, but you're thanking Hashem. It's for yourself that you're acknowledging that you have food and you're able to eat it. And when Birchas HaMazon is you're acknowledging that you were zeicha to eat. It's not.
It's like
you're not.
saying you have to do it. So when you have to do something, so fine, you have to do it. Doesn't matter how you do it. But if you want something, then you better be a little normal to ask.
Right. So tefillah is a conversation with Hashem. If you're too drunk to have a normal conversation, it's a no-go. But brachas and all that, you're allowed. Not shikr v'loit. Shikr v'loit, nothing. You can do nothing. But anyways, yeah, fine. So that's what he said. That's the difference between drinking. It's all about whether you can talk to the king or not. Now, interesting. Okay, well, let's do. Should we wait for him, please? Oh, so interesting also, because Gershon, you said that Purim and all that, the Mishnah Berurah brings, it's interesting that the Mishnah Berurah brings in this siman, I forgot, what siman is it, Kuf? I forget already. I only looked it up like 2 hours ago, so it's already, the Mishnah Berurah brings that on Yom Tif, right? On Yom Tif, when you're supposed to drink, there's a lot more leeway because that's one of the mitzvahs that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to drink. So Mamela, there's more leeway that you can daven even if you're a little bit more. I don't remember exactly what the lashon is, but he says for Yom Tif, which is interesting because he doesn't say Purim. Right? It comes out that maybe drinking is more important on Yom Tif than it's a Yom Shlomo that he brings than it is on Purim. But the place can say it would be Purim also, meaning when it's a mitzvah to drink. So that in itself is more of a reason to say that you would be allowed to daven. It's more of a reason to allow you to daven. Since the reason why you drink. What?
Simchas
doesn't say Simchas. So Simchas Torah
that'll be a better raya.
Yeah. Simchas Torah al Yom Tif. Yes.
But it's interesting that you're allowed to daven even though you drank, but you're not allowed to duchen.
Correct. Right. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's an exception.
Maybe, I guess.
It says you can't daven if you drank.
Yeah, but what's interesting is that you could bench, right, when you drank.
Right, so you can't bench.
But Birkos Kohanim is also Mr. Torah.
Right, because there I guess maybe you're benching Klal Yisrael. So if you're drunk, what kind of bracha is that? So when you're benching Klal Yisrael, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so that was the first thing one said.
Maybe you're representing the Rabbanu Shalom. You can't represent the Rabbanu Shalom being drunk.
Okay, I hear that. Right, very good. Pasach idach, va'amar hamachzik b'nichsei hager, ma yasav yiskayim b'yada. If somebody ends up so a ger has no inheritors, right? Even if he has kids. So right when a ger dies, anybody is entitled to take his stuff. So somebody who finds out that a wealthy ger dies and he jumps on it and he gets all his belongings. So now he became wealthy. Ma yasav yiskayim b'yada. What should he do that he'll be able to keep it and not lose it all? Right? So Yikach ben Sefer Torah, he should buy a Sefer Torah with it, which is very interesting, right? So what Rashi says is it's a midi de tmiya. Rashi says it's meaning it's a something like wow, he made all that money, nothing natural. So he says since it came to you, listen to this. It's really kedai. I'm going to read the Rashi because it's really kedai, right? Midi de tmiya he. People are wondering, since he got this money without working at it, if you're going to make easy money, everybody wants to make the easy money. If you're going to make the easy money, Zev, you should use this as a fundraising thing, this Rashi. If you're going to make the easy money and you're not going to use it for a mitzvah, then it's not, your wealth is not going to be Mekayim. It's not going to be Mekayim.
What's not easy money?
But people do get Yerusha.
What's not easy money? Everyone thinks
you're correct. So that's yes, correct.
I haven't heard one person that said they made easy money.
Oh yeah.
What's not easy?
So if someone wins the lottery, they should buy a Sefer Torah, basically.
That's what it's saying. Exactly. That's what it's saying.
Yes.
But he says what he said. Then
or you marry the right person.
That's the next Gemara.
But they've got a PhD.
It's the next Gemara, right? Right. So look at the next one. So Amar of Sheshus Afilu, right now on the base, Baal b'nichsei ishtoi, even a husband who gets rich from his wife, right? And then Rava says, "Afilu avad iska." Even if he does a business deal and he makes money, let's say a stock investment, right?
That's easy money.
That's easy money.
Right. All this, everything is easy.
No, going to work and going to work every day on the train and you make money.
You're not getting rich from that. You're not getting
that. You're not.
Some people do.
Some people do. Some people do. It's work. Listen, it's work to get up 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, get on a train, go. Even if you're making a lot of money, that's yigia. That's yigia.
Doesn't mean if you're making what? If you're making $1 million a year, that's not yigia then.
Yes, of course it's yigia. Of course it's yigia.
You got way. I'm sorry. You got way more than yigia.
No,
you got way more than yigia.
It's still yigia. It's yigia. We're talking about easy money. Easy money. However you want to define easy money.
Everyone that's making big bucks, it's an investment. It's this something turned.
Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, you make.
Is he drunk?
Naftali, let's say you took your size and you became a linebacker and you got paid $14 million a year. So that would be your gear. It wouldn't be a gift. But you weren't smart enough to become a linebacker. So then you drove to the Bronx every day. And you don't.
He was tall enough.
That's true.
He has the size to be a linebacker.
Right. I don't know if smart enough is the right thing for a linebacker. I don't know.
You know after the debate.
I'm not so sure.
No. You get your signing bonus and then you retire.
You
get your signing bonus and you retire. Then it's yigia. Then it's no yigia. Then it's
we'll have to give it back. Bonus and then you get an injury. And then you don't have to play.
It's easy money. He has his job. That's not the linebacker is $14 million. Everything above the.
Okay, right there.
Still work. Still work.
It's nice to know. It's nice to know that nothing changes. I could be gone for 3 years, 5 years. You all still talk Narishkeit. I love
it. You know, after the debate, everybody had lines that they loved for the debate. We have to have a line every night of something that Horowitz says. At the end of the night, that you were not smart enough to become a linebacker. That's got to be the line of the night.
Okay, there you go.
I don't want to be in competition with Eric's negative tonight, so don't.
Well, whatever it is, this one is. Are we all in agreement that sometimes they make a joke? This guy's best investment was 3 words, Harayat Mekudeshes, right? And sometimes they make that joke. Right, so that's easy money. That's not easy money either.
That's not easy money.
That's not easy money either. Okay, shine. Okay, how about the next one? Papa Omer Afilu Matzah Mitzia. Are we agreed on that? If you find
I think they're all what's it called? I think an investment, right? All these things.
Now, what's interesting is that a lot of people ask. Is there such a thing to ayin hara? Right? What this whole Gemara is about ayin hara, because the top Rashi says, "What do you mean? So who cares? People are going to see you make easy money." It's going to be, and people are going to think bad about whatever. They're going to say, this guy made himself easy money. Right? That's what it is. So you see that there's something to ayin hara. What should I tell you? I know the person can say, if you care about ayin hara, the bottom line is this Gemara is all about ayin hara. What's the matter though? You don't like that?
He has his money. It's none of my business how he got his money.
Because you're a good man, but other people.
No, I'm not a good man, but I'm just saying it on tape. But I'm just saying.
In this Indian, you're a good man, okay? In this Indian, you're a good man, right?
Come on. So you're jealous because you're jealous?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
And you know what's going on in his life and every single thing that's going on and all the troubles he has. He has the perfect life.
You're 100% right, but the problem is that people don't look at it like that. People don't look at it like they don't. Unfortunately, people don't. If everybody would have your attitude, we'd be better off.
But it's a crazy concept if you think about it. Why should somebody's jealousy cause somebody else sorrows?
It is.
It's a crazy concept. It's not a tangible concept.
But it works.
Whatever, it doesn't work.
I want to know why does then giving tzedakah help? If they have, how does that guy know that I went and gave tzedakah afterwards? So now all of a sudden.
It seems like the tzedakah saves it. It seems like the tzedakah saves it.
Maybe just like it doesn't make
people
sense
have to see that you gave it. do people have to also see that you use?
I don't know if they
money
have to
give
see it. I think
tzedakah?
it's
No, because Mr. Ayin Hara knows that you gave tzedakah, so now the Ayin Hara
Maybe
doesn't
it's a
work.
spiritual. It's just
You're
like
right.
this.
So now you get into the concept like, why is this guy putting his name all over the building? It's an Ayin Hara. What do you mean? No, it's not. It's the getaway to Ayin Hara, right? That's what you're asking. I hear. I don't know.
Doesn't say it has to advertise the mitzvah.
Well, you say if you want to get the way to Ayin Hara.
You do the mitzvah. It doesn't say advertise. It doesn't say put your name on the building.
It's the Rashi keeps saying you skymu the money that you got, the easy money you got, it's going to be mekuyim by you if you do a mitzvah with it. Like the next line,
doesn't say you should be mefarsim the mitzvah.
Doesn't say no. It doesn't seem like you have to be mefarsim.
So maybe it's a spiritual mechanic
Yeah,
to combat
the
correct.
Right.
You're right.
Ayin Hara is a supernatural thing, so it can give him tzedakah and create a supernatural protection. That's all.
Yeah, that's what it must be. The whole thing is not something tangible. So if you give tzedakah, then in the next line really is interesting. You write tefillin. What does it mean? You write tefillin. You have to write tefillin. So if you write tefillin with your money, so then that's going to take away the ayin hara.
Maybe it's say to Rabbeinu Tam.
Maybe it's Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. I don't know about that.
Buy a new pair.
Or does it mean to Maybe does it mean to buy an upgraded pair? Does it mean to buy an oniya pair? Does it mean to buy?
What it means is when you have a lot of money, you start to travel. So you have to get the really small travel ones that fit in your backpack.
Okay, I hear.
You have to tell
the first rush.
You have to get one you leave in your house in the Hamptons and one you leave in your house in Florida.
Is that really what it is?
No, it's not. I'm just saying you leave one in each place.
The first Rothschild gave away his tefillin every Rosh Chodesh.
Taka?
Yeah, the first Rothschild. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe from the Gemara. Maybe.
No, but why does it
just
say
thought
by
of it.
film that you should write?
I just thought of it now. I never thought of it. Maybe because it was
very good. You got to put it into your Gemara. You got to write it in the side of your Gemara for your next cycle's Horus.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Why does it say by tefillin that you should write tefillin, and by Sefer Torah says yikach behen Sefer Torah? Doesn't say cause of Sefer Torah.
Very good.
It's a good aura. A very good aura. Parrots, your much likes that aura.
No, I'm saying it's very
good.
But Sefer Torah, we already have a mitzvah before that you have to write a Sefer Torah. It's super simple.
Very good. You're right. It's the last week's parsha. You're supposed to write a Sefer Torah. It's the mitzvah. Both of them are mitzvahs. That's what's interesting. So why not do a different mitzvah? Why don't you give the money to Tarche?
It's a mitzvah. Ksivas tefillin is a mitzvah?
Yes, it was.
What about Siach
Right.
Siach too, but you're on the daf and Mordechai is not, so I'm going with you.
Writing tefillin is a mitzvah?
What does that mean? To write yourself tefillin? I don't think it means write the tefillin as a cipher. I mean, it means to get to write tefillin to have them.
No, but the ikar on Sefer Torah is to write it, no?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe that's the pshat. Maybe that you're going lifnim rishus hadin for the tefillin. You don't need to, but you're doing it anyway. So
I hear. I don't know. I hear. Now I did. It was bothering me. Something was bothering me this Gemara. I wasn't sure what. And then when I went to drive to pick up my kid today, I popped in Rabbi Rosner's thing for 10 minutes, punct, and I was forwarding around to see what he would say about this. Rabbi Rosner, that's on the All Daf app, right? So he said,
I don't mean
he's all
to
over
cut you
shots.
off,
He's
but
unbelievable.
you didn't pop anything in. Those days are done.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. I did. No, I did, Parrots. I popped the USB. I did.
Where's the Torah tape library?
Right.
Mr. Applebaum.
Yeah, very good. So he what do you call it? He brought down from the Yavitz, or Yaakov Emden, who bring right to the whole machlokes. Do you have to give Meister money or not? Is that a halacha to give Meister money? Is it a deraisa? Is it a rabbanon? Or is it a minig ba'alma? He brings a raya from this Gemara, Rabbi Yaakov Emden, that Meiser is not. You don't have to give Meiser because here it is. We're talking about a guy made money, right? What do you mean? Go write a Sefer Torah. You have to. It's Meiser. You got to take your Meiser money and do. You don't have to write a Sefer Torah, but you got to give Meiser to tzedakah.
Isn't he talking about after Meiser?
So unless you say that this is post Meiser, which is a little schwer to say. Okay, that could be. But if Yaakov Emden wants to bring around in this Gemara, that you see that you're not mechuyev to give Meiser. You're not. From here, he's saying this Gemara, you're not mechuyev to give Meiser. It's a minig or whatever it is.
Say no more. Say no more. Leave it at that.
Easy money.
Yeah.
What? The Gemara is talking about easy money, not money that you necessarily.
Well, if easy money you don't have to give Meiser. And Kol Shekain hardworking money you don't have to give.
What's the right? What's the right again?
The other way.
But what does he do with Asa to Aser?
Asa Tasa is really maker than going on fruits and vegetables.
It says, I thought it's
This Asa B'Shil Shittis Asa, we just had in the Gemara in the 9 o'clock in the morning shit, that if Asa B'Shil Shittis Asa is really going on vegetables. In Shabbos.
Oh, they have tinus.
Yeah. Zev, the raya is that what do you mean the guy should go? He made a windfall of money. Should buy a Sefer Torah, buy tefillin. Why doesn't he just? He has to give meiser.
No, maybe in addition he should.
But that's what Yishver wanted to say, right? That's one shot that you can say you have to give in addition. It's very hard to say that somebody has to give more than meiser, right? Especially if you hold the
wait, the whole thing of meiser is not the raisa.
No, that's what he's saying. He's bringing a raya from this Gemara that's not even a Derabanan, it's just a minig ba'alma. Okay, let's see weiter.
Please don't be mufassim.
What?
Please don't be mufassim.
We're not. Okay. Klal Yisrael already accepted it as a minig that they have to, unless financially you're not making. That's accepted by Klal Yisrael that you give ma'aser, without a doubt. It's just a matter of where it comes from. Okay. What's the pasuk? Tichsiv Yida Yisrael neder. Klal Yisrael, when they were having one of the wars, right? So they said they made a neder that they're going to give whatever they win, they're going to give it to tzedakah. Right? What do you need? Fine. So derech mil. So now we get this for those that do drink. So what you do is derech mil v'shina koshu, walking a mill or sleeping a little bit, mafigan is a yayin that gets rid of the yayin, and therefore you would be able to daven. Right? If you fall asleep a little bit or you take a walk, but you have to go a mill, then that gets rid of yayin. That's only if you drank a revius. If you drink more than a revius, if you drink more than a revius, then actually taking a walk is going to make you more crazy in the head, and sleeping is going to make you even more shikr. The Olam will know better than me whether this is true or not. So then the Gemara says, but now we get into his long kasha with the story.
According to the driver's ed rules and the manual, sleep takes away any type of,
any type, even if you drink a lot?
I mean,
I hear.
Longer,
okay, so then
longer sleep, but I'm saying
they're talking about 8 hours of sleep.
Right. The question is, you just doze off a little bit. What does that do? Okay, for derech mil mafiga.
No, it makes it worse. It makes it worse.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so good. So for derech mil mafiga yayin, does walking a mill make the yayin go bad? Meaning make it wear off? Tanya ma'aser Rabbi Gamliel show you roichav al chamor. Rabbi Gamliel was riding on a chamor. And he was traveling from Akka to Chziv. Rabbi Eloi mahalach achar, and Rabbi Eloi was following after him. He found a piece of bread on the way. Amar Eloi told gluska min haderech, pick it up, pick up the bread. Matzah nachri echer, and they found a guy. Amar Eloi, he said to him, Mavgai told gluska lalu me Eloi. Mavgai, meaning that's his name. Take this piece of bread from Eloi. Nitfaloi, so then he met him, right? Nitfaloi Rabbi Eloi met the guy, and Amar Eloi mehechan ata, where are you from? Amar Eloi meYorish Burganin. I'm from the cities of Burganin. We had Burganin with the hut cities. What's your name? Mavgoi. My name. He's answered back. My name is Mavgoi Shmeini. My name is Mavgoi. So he answered back to him. Kilum hekercha Rabbi Gamliel. Do you know Rabbi Gamliel? Amar Eloi lav. I didn't know. I never met him. So Rabbi Gamliel knew the guy's name with Ruach HaKodesh. So again, we see another Gemara. The Gemara is busy with the guy's name. Okay, so Rabbi Gamliel knew the guy's name with Ruach HaKodesh. That's what Rabbi Eloi said. Fine. We got to keep track. This is a kasha about drinking wine. And we learned three things at that time. We learned that you're not allowed to pass over bread, food, meaning, because why do you have to pick up the bread for? Why do Rabbi Gamliel tell Rabbi Eloi to pick up the bread? So we see from that you're not allowed to walk over bread. We'll get back to that in a minute. And we learned that you go after Roiv Oivri Drachim, meaning because why couldn't they eat the bread? Why do they have to give it to a guy? Elamai, he held that it's Pasakum, right? Since it's Pasakum, and it goes from Roiv Goyim, so therefore, the assumption is that a guy baked the bread, so it's no good. We also learned that the chametz of a guy after Pesach is mutter b'hana. Right? Because otherwise, why would he be able to give it away to a guy? The guy's going to be makar toiv to him, and he might get some benefit from the guy. So you see that giving the bread away is...
What happens if it's a week before Pesach?
Then obviously then the assumption is not. This must have been after Pesach. Right? So anyways, let's stop for a second. We're still in the middle of the kasha. But this is a halacha. It's interesting because on the top corner of the page, it tells you where in Shulchan Aruch it is. So it says that it's Siman Kuf Pei. You look in Siman Kuf Pei, it's not there. It's very, very rare that I know that I, to my knowledge, that Rebbe Kiva Eger has something on the Gemara. Here he makes a ha'ara not on the Gemara, on the Ein Mishpat, and says it's not there. What the Ein Mishpat says in Shulchan Aruch is just not there. That's what Rebbe Kiva Eger says. He said it's a Magen Avram someplace else. So it's another interesting thing that's not brought in Shulchan Aruch, but the Mishnah Berurah brings it. You're not allowed to walk over bread. Shaila is, what are you doing? You're walking in the street and you see a piece of bread. Do you know anybody that picks it up?
Yeah.
You know people, yeah. When you walk by a piece of bread in the street, and it also means cake too.
My father always said, pick up the bread.
That's why he's Zocher as our son, like you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the Hamoinam, you go to a chasana, right? You're walking past the table and there's bread on the floor. Anybody stops to pick it up. Right?
Because you become poor. My father used to say, you become poor.
But the poor is really if you throw out the bread.
Are you supposed to cover the bread? Are you supposed to cover the bread when you throw it out?
Wrap it.
Yes,
wrap
all food. Really, really all food. It's really, that already is brought in Shulchan Aruch, that you shouldn't throw out bread. That you should wrap it up. Doesn't say wrap it up in Shulchan Aruch, but this, I once looking outside my house and a Talmud Chacham was walking by, and I guess some bread must have fallen out of the neighbor's garbage, and there's bread sitting there. I see him stopping, and he's not walking. So I go over and say, what's the problem? He says, there's bread here. I don't want to pick it up. It was in the garbage. It's disgusting. What should I do?
Who is your father?
No, it was not. No. I was like, what should I do? I said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Then I told him, I once saw from Rabbi Yashiv that bread that's in the street like that, if you're afraid of germs and all that, you don't have to pick up, which is a chiddush, because why wasn't that a concern in the old days? Okay, whatever it is. But that's one Allah. We'll see in the Gemara. We'll see in the Gemara about it. Either way, so those are the three things that
so what's the halacha then? The halacha bread?
Yitaka can. The Magen Avram, it's not brought in Shulchan Aruch. The Magen Avram brings it. Well, let's see we'll see right in the Gemara. The Gemara is going to discuss it.
You mean the bread that the raccoons take out of my garbage, I don't have to pick up, or I do have to pick up?
It seems to me, from what I once saw from Rabbi Yashiv, I'm pretty sure it's from Rabbi Yashiv, that you would not have to, because you might get germs all over. Now, you have to put on a glove and pick it up. You could sweep with a broom. Yeah, Parrots is Moshe saying that.
Yeah, but bread you see by a chasana. You see it on the floor by
and a chanami. I don't see really much of. Well, now with the corona, I wouldn't tell you to pick up somebody's bread. Yeah, and a chanami. I sometimes I see bread on the floor by chasana. Sometimes I can't say do it all. I will stop and pick it up, but I can't say do it all the time.
No, I'm saying what a person should pick it up
because you're not allowed to walk over bread. That's what we just learned. Rabbi Gamliel was traveling, and there was a piece of bread on the and he made Rabbi Loi pick it up.
Is that an isser or it's just a nice thing?
I don't know, because it's not brought in Shulchan Aruch, but it says ein mavir and ala eichlin. You're not allowed.
What's the shear for the bread? How big is it?
Very good. The Gemara is going to discuss it on the bottom of it. Very good. So anyway, so let's see weiter. So now again, we're still in the middle of the kasha of whether walking takes away the drunkenness. Since they got to chziv, somebody came and said he wanted to be matir neder. Amar lezeh she'imoy klum kom shasinu revius yayin hiltalki. Did we drink revius of yayin? Amar lehein. He said to them, yes, we did, which means that he couldn't paskin. Imken yitayal achrinu ad sheyafig yayinu. Let him travel with us until our yayin dissipates. V'tayal acharein gimel milan, and they went 3 mil at Shagila. Sulma shel tzor, since they reached Sulma shel tzor. Now I have a kasha on this. He knew Ruach HaKodesh, he knew the guy's name, but he didn't know whether he drank wine. No?
Maybe.
Say he knew Ruach HaKodesh, the guy's name. What?
Maybe he drank too much.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. Right? He didn't even know whether he drank wine. Okay.
If he drank,
which means
that much, why would you even believe his Ruach HaKodesh?
No, but I was saying fakert. Clearly, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was thinking like clearly his mind was clear. Otherwise, if he was feeling the effects of the wine, why would he have even asked? Can we paskin the shaila now?
Or maybe it was earlier that night, and then by the time they got up to worry about paskening, it was later, and it had hit him.
You mean it hit him then?
I don't know the timeline.
I don't know.
Eric, I didn't say it was 5 days worth of drinking. It could have been a half hour. Who knows how this works?
I can't. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't want to get involved with all of your chaver, your talmidim. Didn't they ever see anybody chashuv drink? They never saw anybody chashuv. They just saw Landau or me drink. They never saw anybody chashuv drink.
I hear. That's, you know what? I hate to say. I'm sure you might, could very well be. Could very well be.
Same story with the love. He had a bar on his. No, he's saying how they drink.
Yeah, it's not.
They don't drink like we do.
What?
Landau's pretty kosher.
That's true.
To see him drinking and then going on Hatzalikol, it's something else.
Yeah.
That was just one time. We told him we're not going to talk about that.
Listen, no, what Rabban,
it was to my house, though.
This whole thing. Let me explain to you the background here. What do yeshivas do on Purim? They close up. That's what he's talking about. They close up. Either they close up because they don't want the achrayas, or they send the guys collecting, and they don't get to sit and drink with the Rebbeim to see how a yid drinks on Purim. That's what he's referring. Correct, Rabban? They don't see how to properly drink and how you prava when you drink, as opposed to you're running around from house to house and see how all of us guys drink, which is not the proper way to drink. I'm not saying about you,
some of us don't have Rebbeim that drink.
Well, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. You should go to someplace else. Okay.
We're running out of people. Right? Green just sold his house. We're running out of people.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
He's moving?
The Woodmere.
Green is moving?
Not that far away.
Isn't Shah the Gemara Fakir? But didn't feel anything. Leo didn't feel anything. He didn't feel any buzz at all.
I'm saying so then if he didn't feel anything, that's another problem. If he didn't feel it, every time he passed in a shaila, he went and asked his shamish, hey, did we drink tonight?
No, he knew he was drinking. He wanted to know if he made it to a revius. The halacha says he did a revius.
He knew he was drinking. He didn't know if he had a revius. I mean, he was feeling it, and he wasn't sure whether
he wasn't feeling anything. He knew he was drinking wine when he ate.
I hear.
He wanted to know if he had a revius. Once he had a revius, he passed the paskin.
Reb Yaakov, way back when I was a bacher still, I asked Reb Shlomo to explain to me about drinking. What does it mean? Why ye drink? What is it? So he said he once went with Rav Hutner, and they went to Rav Talushkin, and it was the Balatanya's yard site, and Rav Talushkin took a water glass, 8 ounces of Zexaneinsika.
Whoa.
He said L'chaim, drank it down. He turned purple and red. His face looked like a fire engine. And he said a maima in Tifa Chassidus 3 hours straight, nonstop. He says that's when a yid drinks, that's what Yiddish should drink.
What do you do for 3 hours straight?
Wow, I hear.
What do you do for 3 hours straight?
He said a Torah. He said a Chassidus Torah for 3 hours straight.
How come I not have to? He had a shul, right?
Yes, East New York. Yeah, that's okay. That's the way it is. Very good. That's a
Yaakov, if you have to have a revius every time you make kiddush.
Oh, very good. Thank you for the reminder, Peretz.
So that you can never ask a shaila Friday night or Shabbos day.
Very good. So very good, Peretz. So the Gemara says. No. Besides, Rav Kais you don't have to have, but if you have a revius, he's asking. First of all, you only have to have revius.
But also somebody at the table has to have it, not just you.
No, but you only have to have Roiv revius. You don't have to have a revius. You only have to have
Roiv
revius.
But it's anybody at the table that you're being yaitze has to have.
True.
So
that's true. But afilu achi, the Gemara says. Where does the Gemara say it? I forgot where else the Gemara says it. This is all talking about when you're not drinking during a Suda. If you're drinking during a Suda, as we all know, the food helps to dissipate it. to lighten the effects of the alcohol. So the drinking of revius is only when it's not during the Suda. When it's during the Suda, it's not as bad.
On an empty stomach.
Right, that's right. That's what it is. If you drink on an empty stomach, it's worse. What did somebody say?
Stomach.
Yeah.
But kiddush is on the empty stomach.
Okay. No, but then you're eating right away. It's with food. What are you saying?
Because Reb Chaim Paskins, the grape juice is wine, the chaladeus.
Yeah, okay, but I don't know if you would say it beneged to this, that you can't paskin.
Why? I mean, If you have a way around it, why not? Have a review for grape juice.
I mean, if you know, but he's not, no. He's saying to have grape juice as opposed to wine.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying that. Okay, it's getting a little late, so let's go. So Kivan Shagir Summa Detzur, when they reached the Summa Detzur, right, which means Tzur is like rocks, the rocky area. Yaru and Gamliel and a Chamor, he went off the Chamor, Benesatif, and he wrapped himself up in a talis, Vyoshav, Vihitaloy Nidra, and he sat down, it was matir neder. We learned many things from that. Lamadnu Sharavias Yain Hitalki Meshacha. We know that Italian wine, or Revius of Italian wine, makes you shikker. Vilamana shikker al yarim. We know that somebody who's drunk can't paskin. Vilamana shederach mafigas yain. And we see that the wine, that the derech makes the wine dull. Vilamandu shein mefir nedarim. You can't be matir nedarim, not when you're driving, not when you're walking, and not when you're standing, only sitting. But katani mia shloisha milin, whatever it is, from this whole story, it took 3 mil for the alcohol to wear off, not 1 mil. So my answer, shani ayin italki to meshakar tvei. No, the Italian wine is much stronger, so therefore it needs 3 mils. 3 mil. Okay, so what do you mean? Well, we just said that's only if you drink a revius. But if you drink more than a revius, then the more you travel, the traveling is actually going to make it worse. So we say rochav shani, riding is different than walking, right? When you're riding, so then it goes out, the alcohol goes off easier. So hashos is lachi the rami barabba nami loikasha rochav shani. Now you could also answer the original kasha was that how many mil do you need to go to get for the wine to dissipate? So you could say, well, riding is different than walking. So now another question. Right? You're allowed to be matir neder whether you're walking, whether you're standing, whether you're riding.
Maybe he was just tired. That's why he got off. Maybe he wanted to rest.
No, so Gemara says Tanoi. It's a machlokes Tanoim. The ikul madamar paiskim becharata, the ikul madamar ain't paiskim becharata. There are those that say that you open up a person in order to be matir neder, you can't just be matir neder. You have to have two things. One of two things. Either you have to have charata from the person who made him and he regrets doing it, or he has to have a reason that something came up that he can no longer keep it. But so he's saying here that he's going with the ones that you need charata.
Wait, and then kol nidre, you don't have to have any reason?
Yeah, so kol nidre is more of a ceremonial type thing. Yeah,
I'm saying
it's more.
You don't need to have a reason. When
you don't need it, but the paiskim do say that.
Rosh Hashanah.
That's true. Yeah, but that's like more of a ceremonious thing. The paiskim do say that if you have a specific neder, then you should discuss it with 3 hedjit or 1 baki or whatever it is. So anyway, so he says yesh baita k'magderus cherev v'lashon chacham merapa. Right. This is a pasuk, right, in Mishlei. Right, that says that there are those that there's somebody who that he speaks things and it destroys like a cherev, like a sword, and then the chachamim come and heal it. The cherev, anybody who speaks out of his mouth, meaning makes nedarim, should really be popped with a sword. The chachamim come and heal. So you see, he needed to actually sit down and concentrate to figure out why this guy should be matir neder. Right? So then let's see. Mar said, you're not allowed to pass over bread. That's only in the original generations where the Bnei Yisrael weren't so much involved in kishuf, in magic. But with the Bnei Yisrael are busy with magic, then don't pick up the bread because that might cause you to get a spell. I don't know why dafka b'nai Yisrael, but right, but that's what he's saying. Don't do it anymore because you're gonna get a spell or something like that. Yeah. So then the Gemara says,
Is it only bread?
Oh, so the Pais can say it means any type of mezainis.
Oh, when I go to the beach, there's days where the Hindus left fruit all over the beach.
Taco?
So I shouldn't take home I never did, but I shouldn't take home the orange.
I don't know
between
because
them and it's between them and the Schwarzes and the islands. They do some sort of avodah zarah there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting because why does it say Dafka b'nois Yisrael? Right? I don't know. Anyway, so Tana Shleiman Mavirin, Psisin Ein Mavirin. Shleiman you could pass over, but small pieces you can't, because the small pieces they only use for kishuf on full pieces, not small pieces. Right? Second one says Amrli Ravasi Ravashi Vapsisin Le'avdan, and they don't do not avodah zarah. They don't do kishuf on it, and it's going to make me mechulul el ami b'shali sa'orim u'pesaisei lechem, right? With barley and pieces of bread. So what do you see? So you see that they do some sort of chilul on bread, on even pieces. So my answer is the shakla b'grayu. No, that's where they take it for payment. Right? What it means by that is they take pieces of bread as payment for doing their kishuf. Okay, so I'm going to say Shimon Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. Yochel, only a few more lines. Yochel, and he lifter. Oh, you know what? I guess let's stop here. It's already too much. It's already right. 10 after 10. Okay, we'll start with this from tomorrow. Very interesting Gemara, but yeah, fine. Okay, I'm sorry.
What did you want to say about Eruv before? That we all know about it. That nobody knows anything about Eruv.
I want to wait. No, I was not saying tonight. I was saying by the end of the sugya. When you get to the end of the sugya, it's good to do it. But please remember, though, because it'll be chaval if I don't remember to say it. So please, all right.
I think I figured it out. I figured it out. All right, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Both of them said Havdalah for somebody already, and a woman wants to hear Havdalah. So she makes it for the other woman, and she's able to say Leishiv, but the man wouldn't be able to say Havdalah.
Why not? Because
the man can't say Havdalah for a woman if he already made Havdalah.
That's true, but he could still there. He's going back to the original question. But after a whole interesting daf tonight, you can't. You got to go back.
It's on my head since Sefer Torah.
I hear.
Why wouldn't that work?
Even like Gerson's thing.
I hear.
I didn't hear what Gershon said. I'm saying, why wouldn't that work?
Oh, they just emailed about your mom. No, because then it's the same. It's not the same situation.
It is the same situation. Some woman needs to hear Havdalah now. Both of you said Havdalah already. You say Havdalah, you can't say Leishiv. She says Havdalah, she can't say Leishiv.
I hear. Yeah, but you still theoretically
you're still wrong.
He could still sit there and make a Leishiv on something else if he wants.
What do you mean? We're talking about the same scenario. They both said Havdalah. One can't say Leishiv, one can't.
I know, no, but it's not the same situation because he can make a leishiv if he decides to eat a piece of cake.
Oh, you're saying it's something with him, not the circumstance.
Yeah. See, in the middle of what we're discussing, Meiser money, going back to tonight's daf, I'm sorry, Naftali, right? But a guy texts, am I allowed to buy money, svarim with Meiser money? No. From what do you say from our Gemara? He said, buy tefillin and buy a Sefer Torah.
Sounds like they have to be for public.
What do you mean? With yeshivas, they ask you to donate svarim to the base medrash, whatever it is.
No, he's talking about buying svarim for himself. He's talking about buying svarim himself.
You have to make
even tefillin that's used for your own self, you can use Meiser money.
Yeah. What?
No. We just said before. What? We just said before that you can use tefillin for tefillin. No.
But the question is, was it Meiser or not? Was it Meiser or not?
It wasn't about Meiser. The Gemara was talking about if you made easy money.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Tzvi Yaakov, did you ever hear Rav Toli say that the same issue about making Havdalah for a woman after you made Havdalah again, it's like making Kiddush a second time on Yom Tif. If somebody makes Kiddush already, they can't say it again. The first time they say Kiddush, they should say it for their wife because it's a suffix whether a woman or
so you're talking about Kiddush. Friday night Kiddush.
No, Shabbos day. I'm talking about Yom Tif by day. Yom Tif by day. It's a suffix whether a woman are chayiv in Kiddush on Yom Tif by day. And Rav Toli always says, I remember he told me that you should make it for your wife the first time you make kiddush, you should make it for your wife because it's a suffix whether the chayiv and kiddush. I think it's a Rebbe Akiva Eiger. It's a suffix whether the chayiv and kiddush Yom Tov by day. So if you make it for yourself first and then you make it again for your wife, it's a suffix brachla matala. Just like if you were to make havdalah for her again, because it's a suffix. Have you had such a thing?
I think that was. I remember that being a shir klali for Friday night kiddush because the mitzvah daraisa on Vayichulu that you're yotze your mitzvah daraisa on kiddush on Friday night, and then you go home and make kiddush again, and then you only have a darabanan. There was a.
Is that what you were talking about, Mike?
No.
That's what I remember.
I remember him saying that, but I'm saying I was just talking about. He said it's similar. It's like havdalah. Kiddush by day on Yom Tov. It's a suffix where the women are mechoyev in Kiddush, and therefore he said the first time you should make Kiddush, it should be for your wife. You shouldn't make it for yourself. If you like go to shul, he said you should wait to make Kiddush for your wife the first time to avoid that problem. Do you have anything?
I hear. I don't know. I'm not sure.
The shaila is where the woman can make the leishiv, not the man, right?
The woman can make the leishiv, not the man. Yes.
Okay, so what if the husband is a katan?
What do you say?
The husband is a katan, so he can't say the leishiv for his wife if the wife's over 13.
We're not talking about him saying for her or.
No, but Stam, if he's a katan, they have to what's it called? Oh, you're saying not to be. It's not for kiddush or anything.
Yeah. No, Stam.
What about if it was before Shabbos?
It's not Balabatish where he's been in the sukkah the whole day.
What do you say?
It's not Balabatish where he's been in the sukkah the whole day.
No, because that's not the. It would have to be the same situation. Sunday. What's the chances though that we're discussing tefillin tonight, and a guy just texted me that for the first time in 15 years he hasn't put on tefillin? Is there anything he could do at night? Yeah, I don't know.
When are you writing your book? You know.
I'm writing my book. I don't know. Hey, so I didn't ask why. I'm not getting involved. Why?
Tell him you're not a Lubavitcher.
Yeah.
What did they say? Regular or straight?
Rabbi Stein, do you have a meeting by your house tomorrow morning?
Yeah. It's going to really work out for you. It's called for 9:25.
I'll already be up for 4 hours, but okay.
That's yes. It's called for 9:25.
In front of your house, or it's behind your mother's house?
It rained. If it's not raining, it's behind my mother's house. If it is raining, then I don't know. We have to figure it out.
What time is shir then? What time is shir?
Shir will be the regular time like the other days, like 9 o'clock, 5 to 9.
In today's Gemara, when Rabbi Gamliel was apparently he drank and he had Ruach HaKodesh and he knew the guy's name, right? So you're saying like before Rabbi Gamliel drank and had Ruach HaKodesh, nobody ever had that before?
What do you mean, to know a guy's name?
Meaning like, I don't know, it's just interesting that like we talk about Hannah and Tefillah, and Eli asks her if she's drunk, and it's like a whole big thing. Like maybe she was having Ruach HaKodesh. Like what's like why is this such a big deal that she was drinking? You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, Rabbi Gamliel had Ruach HaKodesh and he drank. Okay, fine, but Hannah had was davening, and the question is, is she drunk? Right. It just seems strange.
I hear it. It's interesting. And that's what you're doing, is using your Ruach HaKodesh for?
Yeah. Like, I need to know the guy's name so everybody knows, like, I know what's going on. That's fine. But Hannah didn't even drink, but it's like, is she drunk?
I hear.
It's not like he used Ruach HaKodesh for specific purposes. He lived his life.
So what did he say?
Oh, he was in Mavir and Al Ochlin, so Ruach HaKodesh, I need to know this guy's name.
That's not what happened.
Well, I hear.
But I
lived his life with Ruach HaKodesh. Every second of every day he had Ruach HaKodesh.
So Rabbi Weinberger actually said once on a shir that I heard many years ago on a cassette tape, because I used them when I was growing up. So he said that so the Lubavitcher Rebbe took a full 8-ounce cup of vodka, downed it, and a titch, and it was just like nothing happened. Like
Where are you going
to? Alcohol could not have an effect on people theoretically if they're functioning in a different plane. Like Gersh was saying earlier, in that maybe people got it that it didn't help it. It didn't do anything to him. It didn't wonder if he was drunk, if he drank or anything.
That's so random. Why would they start?
I hear.
Can you hear anything there?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear anything?
Yeah, why? You couldn't hear him?
I
No,
can't hear
because
a word.
Naftali is so
What's
loud.
Naftali
You
going
can hear
on
from
there?
outside.
Oh.
Me?
Naftali, shush.
What'd I do?
You're making too much background noise.
What I said
Parrots, are you
was
still
Rabbi
recording?
Weinberger once said on a shir that he saw the Lubavitcher Rebbe took like an 8-ounce glass of vodka and downed it, and it had no effect on him. So it's just like Pshat that Gersh said, maybe he drank. He didn't even know that it made a difference.
Can you stop recording for a second? Parrots, can you stop recording for a second, please?
Parrots, you want to
Parrots.
stop the recording.
Stop recording for a second.
We're starting regular thingy. Just straight up school.